Good morning and welcome. It's Corporate Governance Platform brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. I am Funmi Omoboriowo. On the program today, we'll be looking at importance of induction and continuing education of directors. Our guest this morning is Mr. Ladipo Jacob, ACIS, his Group Company Secretary and Legal Advisor, Dancer Holdings Limited. Good morning, Mr. Jacob.
Good morning.
All right, thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And also here is Mr. Kadi Ketefe, FCIS, Head of Research, ICSAN. Good morning, Mr. Ketefe.
Good morning to you, Fumi. Good morning, our guests and all our listeners.
All right, before we go into the discourse this morning, let's take this message. We'll be right back.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
All right, as I announced earlier, that we're looking at the importance of induction and continuing education of directors. All right, Mr. Jacob, let's look at the term induction of directors. What does this mean?
Thank you very much. Induction of directors is the formal introductory program for new directors that is designed to familiarize them with the strategic plans, operation, business environment, and also the senior management of companies, of the company, as well as to also familiarize them with their fiduciary duties as directors.
All right. In the code, there's a recommendation that induction of new directors should take place as soon as feasible after their appointment. So now, why do you think this provision is in the code?
Yes, you'll find out that the Code of Corporate Governance of Nigeria 2018 has 7 parts and 28 principles. So the 13th principle is the principle that covers induction and continuous education. And the reason why the code specifically in 13.1 provides for induction to take place as soon as possible after appointment is in order to assist the directors to effectively discharge their duties and responsibilities as directors.
All right. Now, is there any difference between induction of directors and continuous education of directors? Let's try to establish the difference and what also the continuous education means.
Okay, so we'll just defined or described induction of directors. On the other hand, the continuous education of director refers to the periodic relevant education and continuing education programs that are designed to update the knowledge and skills of directors and also to keep them informed of new developments in both the business and operating environments of the company. So that's the definition. Now you would find a few important differences between them. On the one hand, in the case of induction of directors, it takes place, as we've previously spoken, as soon as possible at the beginning of appointment as directors. On the other hand, continuing education is periodic. It's continuing. It continues during the whole tenure of directorship. So that's one. Now, secondly, you'll see again that from the earlier definition of induction of directors, we've said that the induction is an introductory program. So you see, it's a program that introduces them to their duties and responsibilities. On the other hand, in the case of continuing education, what it does, continuing education, is to keep them updated about new developments. So it goes beyond just knowing, to familiarize themselves with the business, as you have with an induction, to now getting expert knowledge and understanding new developments. So that's the second one. The third one, again, is from the definition. One is for new directors, the induction, whilst continuing education is for not new directors. Now, we've talked about the difference. One key similarity between both is that both the induction of directors and the continuing education of directors are both in the code to assist directors, to assist them to effectively discharge their duties and responsibilities, except that it's at different points of their tenure as directors. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Is there any link between, continuing education of directors and succession planning? We've talked about this in the course of the program. Let's look at, is there any link between the two?
Now, if you take succession planning to be a strategy by which leadership is being changed in organizations, you will find out that the continuing education is key, because it means that while still directors, the continuing education now imbues them with the knowledge, the skills and all the requirements to effectively take over leadership, which is what succession planning is. So you can say, yes, continuous education is a critical component of succession planning, because you want the directors or the leadership that will take over to have the requisite skills, knowledge, leadership skills. You talk of leadership, talk about knowledge, even understanding of the business environment. So all of those is what you do during continuing education, just to prepare for the strategy of succession planning.
All right. Now, under the code, there is the provision that, trainings and programs should be at the company's expense, but should not be the one that puts undue strain on the company's finances.
Yes.
Now, what would you say will be the guiding principle in attaining equilibrium between these two ends?
Okay, yes, the code did not specifically state, but what one can deduce from the requirements of the code not to put undue strain on the finances of the company is that if you take, for instance, executive directors who are usually employees of the company, now definitely the company will need to train its own employees so that they can provide better service according to the financial wherewithal. Now, if you take the independent non-executive directors whose position on the board in the first place is because of their wealth of knowledge and experience and independence, you would expect that for them to get onto the board, they would have been sufficiently trained to be able to bring that independence and objectivity to the affairs of the board. So one way to do it is just to, if there's not enough resources to go around, then emphasis should be on the executive directors that are employees and not so much the independent directors who would have attained a very high level of experience already. That's on the one hand. Then on the other hand, for a company who simply cannot afford, then there could be areas of training and continuing education that may not necessarily cost so much money. In today's age, where there's a lot of remote trainings, you can find a lot of remote trainings. It's just a click away. You can find a lot of podcasts. You can find a lot of training by industry experts worldwide that you could tune it to at no cost at all. So that's another way companies can leverage on technology to train it to ensure that there's continuing education at little or no cost. Thank you.
All right. So what advice do you have for companies and other entities on the issue of induction and continuing education of directors?
Now, because induction and continuing education of directors is a core principle of corporate governance. And like we said earlier, it's principle number 13 of the Corporate Governance Code of 2018. And underneath it, there are a lot of recommended practices. These recommended practices are the recommended practices relating to induction of directors at as soon as feasible after their appointments, the continuing education. So companies, my advice to companies would be to take advantage of the provisions of the code to ensure that their directors are inducted. There's an induction program for them when they're appointed, and that when they get on the board, there's continuous education. We learn every day, as we lawyers know, that you never stop learning. It's to ensure that there's continuing education. Why? Because it's all this that assists the directors to effectively discharge their duties and responsibilities to the company in order to ensure the profitability and sustainability of the business of the company.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jacob. Mr. Ketefe, let me ask what advice the Institute have for firms and organizations who do not place due premium on training of directors.
Thank you very much, Fumi. Well, apart from the fact that non-adherence to the practice of induction and continuous training of directors is a direct breach of the Nigeria Code of Corporate Governance 2018 and global best practices. Adherence has its own inherent advantages. To start with, induction and continuous training has the effect of empowering the directors to discharge their duties more efficiently and effectively. It will also help them to avoid liability by knowing how to deal with situations with knowledge and insight, and to avoid the breach of their duties as directors. As a matter of fact, some directors, like non-executive directors, they even require initial induction before they can even start to function properly on the board, because they are outsider to the business. Having stated that, all directors, including the executive ones, need both induction and continuous training before they are able to render maximal services to the company. So it's for this reason ICSAN is advising all companies and organizations to take issues of directors and induction training very seriously. And just like our guest has said, they should try to comply with the provision of the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance 2018. Thank you.
All right, so does the Institute organize induction and continuous training for new and existing directors?
Very good question. The training department of the Institute has already acquired reputation of providing top-notch training on diverse topics on corporate governance, which include the one at hand, the induction and continuous training of directors.
Okay.
The training is of twofold. The first is the periodic training the department organizes from time to time and invite people to attend. The second one is the specialized training that is organized for specific companies and organizations that request for it. We have been providing excellent services on these two fronts, and I will use this opportunity to invite organizations, firms, and businesses to take advantage of this service to boost the capacities of their directors. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I have to say a very big thank you to our guests this morning, Mr. Ladipo Jacob, ACIS Group Company Secretary and Legal Advisor, Dancer Holdings Limited. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
And also thank you to you, Mr. Kadi Ketefe, FCIS Head of Research, ICSAN. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you right here on the program.
Thank you very much for me.
All right, and that's our bit this morning as we've looked at the importance of induction and continuing education of directors. Corporate Governance Platform returns again next week, Wednesday, 10:15 a.m. right here on Equator 9.7 FM. I am Funmi Omoburiwo. Enjoy the rest of the day.